the game's just finished. It ended 2-2. Disappointed to say the least, but I decided to record this immediately to go out with Rob's have your say stuff. So I'm not going to cover the game too much. Obviously, we're going to do that in significant detail when we do the review. So just get a few things off my chest to start with. We're still unbeaten in Europe. We're still top of the group with 10 points, and we're still fourth in the Premier League. We joined third if you want to go with the goal difference. So I'm going to wake up in the morning, and we're still going to be in those positions. We're still going to be 10 points, unbeaten in Europe, joined third in the Premier League, and unbeaten in Europe as well. I mean, what's not to be enjoying about that statement? Yes, all right, we wasn't the greatest of games against Genk, let's not lie. But Genk coming off of the back of two great games for them, scored 12 goals, 2 more tonight, and really put us under the cosh for, significant portions, I felt, anyway, in my opinion, significant portions of the match. And we just didn't get to grips with it in time or quick enough. I've been perusing social media a lot. I mean, we're talking, it's been about half hour since the end of the game. I've been looking a lot at the social media side of things. And there's a few people slating Souček for the own goal. Has no reason to go for it. It's instinct. As a former player myself, it's instinct. You go for something like that with the think that you haven't got the call from your keeper behind you, that there's no one there. You're just going to stick your head out and hopefully you put it wide. He hasn't. It's just ended up in the back of the net. It's annoying. It's frustrating. It's shit. Yes. People blaming Fornals that he didn't track his man. He didn't run quick enough. Yes. No. Maybe. People moaning that Noble was non-existent. People moaning that Lanzini was non-existent. I can tell you now, they probably worked more in that game, chasing a side that were playing very well in points of that game than they have done all season. And by that I mean working harder when they've not had the ball. First half, I thought, I didn't think Benny was great. Two good goals, don't get me wrong. It's not hate. I didn't think Benny was great to start with. I thought, very subdued. People saying that Bowen shouldn't have come on. I thought Bowen was really good when he came on. I mean, we had the chance right at the end there to win it. Still questioning why Soufal put it in the air as opposed to putting it down across the deck. But, it's one of them things. It's annoying. It's like that mosquito buzzing in your ear. It's frustrating, it's annoying. But, like I said at the start, we're still top of that group, 10 points and unbeaten. And we're still joined third in the Premier League on goal difference. What you got? If someone had said to you at the start of the season that that's where we're going to be, you'd have ripped their arm off for it. No, don't tell me you wouldn't. I know I certainly would have done. So, yeah, you know what? We go again. Liverpool Sunday, international break, I believe, and then, is it international break? Maybe, I don't know, possibly. It is, yeah, international break, and then we come back and we go at it again. We've got a cup quarter final to look forward to against Spurs. Going to be a completely different outfit now with Conte in charge, but again, I'm still not concerned, and I still think we have the ability to turn them over. I really do. We go again against I think it's Vienna away, Rapid Vienna away in the next game in the Europa League, which a win would guarantee, top finish and qualification. Then we don't have to worry about, dicking around with the teams dropping out of the Champions League. We go straight into that, the knockout stages. Again, confident as hell. Confident as hell. We've still got 2 games to go. I think we need to get 2 points from that. I would have liked that to have come tonight, but I do believe it's in the bag if you want. And then we go again in the league. I'm not going to be too despondent on 2 drop points tonight. I'm really not. I'm not gonna have that. Wasn't our greatest of games. Wasn't our worst of games. I saw flashes there, and you got to bear in mind that we didn't put out our strongest side. It was a strong side, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't our strongest. So, people saying that Yarmolenko should have come on instead of Bowen, behave yourself. I called the subs correctly, 2 of the 3, in fact. I wasn't expecting Antonio to go off. I expected Noble to go off for Alex Crowell. I expected Bowen to come on for Lanzini, and I expected Fornals to come on for Masuaku, and then whatever else happened after that. I got in that instance 2 of the 3 right. I got the result completely wrong. I had us down as a 3-0 win. I actually had a couple of bets tonight that I lost them both. But again, I'm going to stick with the positive side of things. Joined 3rd in the league due to goal difference. Top of our group in the Europa League. Unbeaten in Europe. As far as I'm concerned, we're still fucking massive. Come on, you Irons.
Good evening, everybody. Steve 50 here again, invited on by Gatesy and Duke. Top men who really work hard for this channel. So if you can drop a like on the video for them, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, because they put a lot of effort into putting a lot of content out, and I think they do a great job. And I know both of them, as you would imagine, but yeah, they're top blokes, so please just support the channel and support them, really. Anyway, moving on. I've just watched West Ham draw 2-2 with Genk, and I'm reasonably confused but not unhappy. First 20 minutes, I honestly wondered whether our players had ever met each other before, knew what a football was, and knew why they were out there on the pitch. I thought they were terrible. And Genk were 1-up, and you couldn't argue that they deserved it. We grew into the game. As the first half wore on, we got better and better and better. And when we went in 1-0 down at half time, I thought, okay, I'll take a point here. It's not the worst result away from home. I didn't think Genk were a bad side when we played them at the London Stadium, and I still don't think they're a bad side now. So 1-0 down, half time. Players look like they're strangers, and then they go in. And I'm very pleased I wasn't one of those players in the dressing room, because I think they may have encountered Mr. Moyes' full displeasure. He would have been absolutely furious with that. It's not the standards he sets, it's not what he's prepared to accept, and lo and behold, we come out in the second half, different side. And in the second half, we were good. When Ben Rama equalises, got no complaints. Fair enough, I think the keeper should have done much better. Ball goes through his legs from Ben Rama shooting from just inside the box, and if Fabianski or Areola had done that, we would be most unhappy, and for good reason. I think he should have stopped it. And then he brings on 3 subs, 3 first teamers. Souček, Bowen and Fornals, and we just went up a gear. We were all over them then. Passing, moving, creating chances. Tuchel, the ball falls to him on his wrong foot and he has a shot and he narrowly misses. One of these days he will score for us, but today wasn't that day. But I thought he had a decent game. But the standout player's got to be Benrahma. Some of the passing and moving between Benrahma and Lanzini was excellent. But I thought Benrahma was just brilliant this evening, and the second goal he scored, my son and I are sat there watching it and we've just gone, wow, what a goal. It was a goal that showed an immense amount of skill, immense amount of vision and excellent execution. That goal would have graced any game anywhere, and I was really, really pleased for him. Because when Benrahma first got here, he got quite a lot of stick. Well, not stick, but... no, stick's the wrong word, I'll take that back. He had his critics. And David Moyes always said it will take time for him to adjust from the Championship to the Premier League, because it's a big step up. Boy, hasn't he adjusted well this season. I just think he's been sensational. He doesn't always have the perfect game, but no player on the pitch does. But I thought tonight, I just thought he was wonderful. Really enjoyed watching him. But as good as Benrahma's finish was, I'm not convinced it was the best finish of the evening. So, poor old Thomas Souček. 100% committed. Scores a wonder header. Unfortunately, he scores it in the wrong goal. If he'd done it at the other end, everybody would be saying, what a finish. That was just world class. Unfortunately, that world class header absolutely beat Areola. And I have to say, I'm not disappointed with the draw. The way we started, being 1 down at half time, I'd have taken a draw. And I felt really sorry for Souček. He does so much for our team. He makes such a difference. But hey, these things happen. And a point there is not the worst result. Second half, even when it went 2-2, we still were creating chances. And we were playing some superb football. But my overall feelings on it is, okay, we've gone away, we've got a point, we're still unbeaten in the group, we're still top of the group by a mile, and on to Liverpool. We aren't a Manchester City who will steamroll our sides every time we go out. Sometimes it's going to be gritty, like it was against Villa. Sometimes there's going to be dips in our performance. And I said to my son, the problem is now when we have a dip in our performance, we don't expect it to happen because it doesn't happen like it used to. We don't go out on a rubbish for 90 minutes. We might be poor for a section of the game, but we're getting used to West Ham going out and being a good team. So when they go out and they're not quite at their best, it's a bit of a shock. But I thought we showed great character to come back and go 2-1 up. I thought some of the play in the second half was very good. I thought the first 20 minutes was awful. But onwards and upwards. I don't know this though, we're going to have to be a lot tighter against Liverpool, and we're going to have to be at it from minute 1. Otherwise they'll tear us to pieces. You know, you're playing a vastly superior opposition to Genk. And Liverpool are flying, and they will absolutely destroy us if we take our foot off the pedal or we lack concentration for a moment. But that's a conversation for another day, and we wait and see how we do. I'm unfortunately not able to go to the Liverpool game, but I will be watching it on the TV. So, well done West Ham tonight. Valuable away point. Final sign off. Come on you Irons.
So as I stand here right now, West Ham are third in the Premier League. Fourth if you want to take goal difference into account, which you must. But we're level on points with Manchester City in third. We're also top of our Europa League group. 4 games and we are undefeated. Absolutely magnificent. If you'd have told me that a year ago, I'd have said you were mad. But here we are. This is the reality. But now I have to put this into a box. Just leave it there for one side. Let's just deal with this particular game. Genk 2, West Ham United 2. The first 20 minutes, absolute shambles. It was all over the show. Our best player in that particular spell of the match was Alphonse Areola. If it hadn't have been for him, the game could have been done and dusted by the 20th minute. He made 3 or 4 good saves. Was unlucky not to keep Pansil's goal out of the net. I actually blame Issa Diop. I think he was caught flat-footed. He wasn't aware of where his man was, and he's got his shot away. 1-0 to Genk, our first goal that we've conceded in the Europa League. It took us 20 minutes or so before we started to turn the tide a little bit and exert a little bit of pressure on their goal. We get to half time, it's still 1-0 deficit. But I'm at that point I'm getting a little bit more confident that we're just turning things around a little bit. They still have a few moments where they're getting the ball and they're building attacks, and to be honest with you, a few times I'm looking and we look a little bit shaky at the back. But all in all, I think that the opportunities will come in the second half. And they did. Manuel Lanzini played lovely ball out to Vladimir Tufel, careering up on the right hand side. He plays the ball, cuts it back. Said Benrahma blasts the ball, 1-1. At that point, I'm thinking, in all honesty, that it's game on. Let's see what we're made of here. We made a triple substitution. I think David Moyes could see that there were certain deficiencies in certain areas of the pitch, and he wanted to shake things up a little bit. I think it was completely the right substitutions to make, although I think a few people did look at when Antonio came off and scratched their head a little bit and questioned the wisdom of that decision. But I actually think it was, all in all, it was probably the right decision on balance. Because obviously you've got to bear in mind, we know that Michail Antonio has some questionable hamstrings, and obviously there's a game on Sunday in the Premier League against Liverpool. So you've got to try and balance it up. It's not just about the game that's taken place today. So makes a triple substitution, and we're really turning the screw. We're really building the pressure on the Genk goal at this point. And with 8 minutes to go, Said Benrahma, another piece of skill, absolute genius. I'll say it, genius. Knocks the ball one way, goes the other, bamboozles the Genk defender, drives into the penalty box and shoots. To be honest, goalkeeper should have done an awful lot better. Goalkeeper actually made himself smaller, not bigger. That's no goalkeeping manual that I've ever read. Make yourself a bit smaller. Anyway, I don't care. 2-1. Fantastic. Brilliant. We've got 8 minutes left of this match. Let's see this game out. We've been, by and large, the better team in the second half. So let's just continue playing the way we have for the majority of this second half for the next 8, and we'll get in 3 points, and that's the group done. It wasn't to be. 3 minutes from the end of the 90, a ball's played in by the right back for Genk, Preciado. Thomas Soucek, who's normally quite a good player in the air, he gets his head to the ball, and I'm thinking, that's great. Go out for a corner, defend the corner, fine. Unfortunately, the ball skims off of his head, flies past Alphonse Areola. There's nothing he could do, and it's 2-2. I think on balance, when I actually look back at the match now, and I obviously analyse the stats, they're pretty even, to be honest. If you look at the shots, they had one less shot than we did. We only had 2 more shots on target than they did. Possession stats were 51-49 in our favour, so there's nothing in that. Passing accuracy stats, they're virtually equal. I think it was 83-85 in our favour. So all of the stats suggest that it was an even game. So I think probably a 2-2 draw, on reflection, is probably a fair result. Obviously I'd have liked more, but you know, sometimes what you want and what you get in life are 2 different things. We're still top of the group, we're still unbeaten, and we've put ourselves in a really good position still with that point. And when I last looked, it was 1-1 in the Dinamo Zagreb Rapid Vienna game, which is a fantastic result for us, because it means that we're on 10 points, and if it stays 1-1 at the time I record this, then the other 3 teams are on 4 points. There's 2 games left, so do the maths. It's virtually impossible for us to not win this group from where we are. Mathematically, we probably still need 1 point in either the away game in Vienna or the home game against Dinamo Zagreb. I think we're more than capable of getting at least a point in those 2 games, if I'm being honest. So I think we're there. I think we're now in the last 16. Fingers crossed. So now we're on to the game on Sunday at London Stadium. That will take care of itself. I'm sure David Moyes will go with as strong a team as he can for that. But as far as the Europa League campaign is concerned, slightly disappointed we didn't get all 3. Slightly disappointed that we looked a bit of a shambles in the first 20 minutes. But pleased that we managed to turn it around and get our noses in front. Just a shame we couldn't see it out, and obviously conceded the goal in the second half. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the game. All in all, relatively content. Could be better, but on we go. Onwards and upwards. Come on, you Irons.